glad you're streaming with us. Overnight, Russian missiles striking Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, and multiple other places across the country, killing at least 5 people, destroying homes, and temporarily knocking out power for thousands of people. Ukrainian officials say that the air raid began about 6 a.m. local time and lasted for about 3 hours. The Defense Ministry there reports at least 20 drones in the air, 44 missiles fired, all Iranian-made. For more, let's bring in our Patrick Rebel, who's been following this story for us. So, Patrick, this was definitely a massive Russian missile and drone attack. What more do we know about the impact?
Hi, Kira. Yeah, this was among the largest Russian missile attacks of the past few weeks. As you say, at least 5 people killed, dozens of people injured, nearly 40 people injured, a lot of buildings damaged, both in Kyiv and in cities across the country, not only in Kyiv, but in the east and in the south. And, you know, this is just, we're seeing more and more that more Russian missiles are getting through, in part because Ukraine is increasingly running low on ammunition and on air defense missiles. And this just underlines that this is happening as U.S. aid has dried up because of the deadlock in Congress. You know, as we say, we're waiting right now on that bill for supporting more aid for the border, but also for Ukraine and Israel. But that bill is expected to fail. We know the Democrats have put forward a separate bill suggesting aid for Israel and Ukraine, but it's unlikely that that will pass either. And the longer this goes on, just the greater there is the risk that Ukraine suffers more damage that we see today, but also on the ground war that things become more and more difficult for Ukraine.
So a strategic city in eastern Ukraine is now dealing with intense pressure and also ammunition shortages. So just talk about this part of the country and how it plays into the impact of this war, and also Ukraine's just fight to survive here.
Yeah, it's not just, you know, these missile strikes. Right now, we're seeing in the city of Avdiivka in eastern Ukraine, the Ukrainian forces there are under extreme pressure. And basically, journalists and military analysts are warning that at the moment it's getting increasingly close to falling. I mean, Avdiivka is a key city out there. It's one of the most fortified places on the front line. And Russia, since October, has been trying to take it. It's been throwing huge numbers of forces at it, and they have been suffering enormous losses. We know that, according to British intelligence, they've lost over 1,000 tanks and armoured vehicles just since October, and several thousand Russian troops have been killed. But despite those enormous losses, they're still pushing forward. And in just the past few days, we've seen them make some notable advances, in particular in the north and south of the city. And it appears that they're getting increasingly close to the only remaining supply road into Avdiivka. If the Russians are able to cut that road, that would mean that the Ukrainian garrison is trapped there. And while it would not mean ultimately that Ukraine's front line is going to collapse if this city were to fall, it just underlines how the initiative has shifted to Russia at the same time that the U.S. has become deadlocked in providing this aid. And, you know, as we look at this deadlock in Congress today, increasingly it looks very likely that there may not be any more U.S. aid or any deal in Congress for more aid to Ukraine before the election, which is a remarkable situation to see, and ultimately, you know, does not bode well at all for Ukraine.
All right, Patrick Rebel, thank you so much. We will continue to follow everything that's happening there, of course, in Ukraine.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.